and welcome to Well-Advised On-Demand Learning, a series brought to you by the Kentucky Advising Academy, an initiative of the Council on Post-Secondary Education. I'm Christy, one of the advising coordinators here to guide you through this module. We are so glad you're here, and thank you for taking the time to learn from this resource and further impact your own post-secondary advising system. Today, we want to show you how using data can inform your post-secondary advising practices. One way to ensure all students get equal opportunities is to look at data. An important question we'd like to ask you as you consider your post-secondary advising system is this: is every student having the same high school experience? You might hold certain assumptions regarding your school's achievements. Your data has a story to tell. Now, let's consider what types of data you collect and the types of data that can inform your post-secondary advising practices. Different stakeholder groups may be interested in different data sets to help assess student success. Who else has access to this data? Do all advising staff have access to multiple post-secondary advising data sources? Leveraging data requires taking data, finding meaningful patterns and trends, using those insights, and making better decisions to improve your process. One great resource for data is KAA Stats. Kentucky has quite a robust data system. Data was pulled from Kentucky Longitudinal Data Systems, which includes data from Kentucky Department of Education, ADE, the Council on Post-Secondary Education, CPE, and the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, KEA. There are many different reports that you can use from KAA Stats. We'd like to spend some time today showing you the High School Feedback Report. The High School Feedback Report can be accessed as a PDF and also as a full interactive report. Go to kaastats.ky.gov. Click on K-12 Reports. Then, click High School Feedback Report. Choose your district, and now select your school. We've removed the name of the school for this PDF that we're going to look at today. The top of the report shows where this data came from. You'll notice the blue box on the first page gives some quick statistics. One more thing to note before taking a look at what's on the report. You may notice there is data that has been redacted. KAA Stats follows strict guidelines to ensure the privacy of all students. If a category had less than a base of 10 students, the data was redacted to protect confidentiality of the students. Look at how the report is divided into 4 different areas. Overall, how did graduates from this school compare to others in Kentucky? What types of colleges and universities did graduates from this school attend? How did graduates from this school perform in their first year at in-state public colleges and universities? And what types of financial aid did in-state public college and university attendees from this school receive? When you consider this, who would be interested in looking at this data with you? Other advisors? What about teachers? Students and families? How about people in the community? Now, let's take a look at how to access the interactive version. You can find this report on KAA Stats too. Just be sure to click on the interactive report. This report can give you a better opportunity to look at specific student populations, particularly underrepresented student groups. Notice there are 3 different dashboards on the High School Feedback Report: college going and success, college enrollment and outcomes, and loans and wages. You've already seen some of the data available on the college going and success dashboard. The college enrollment and outcomes summarizes early post-secondary opportunities too: top enrollment institutions, college metrics, and educational attainment of high school graduates. The data are filtered by academic year, geography, type and region, and demographic. This page is divided into two segments, affected by different filters. Finally, the Loans and Wages dashboard on the High School Feedback Report highlights the overall trends of student loans and employment for Kentucky high school graduates. The data are filtered by the academic year, geography type, geography region, and demographic drop-downs at the top. As you look at the data from your school or district, I want to ask you again, is every student having the same high school experience? Where are there some opportunities for growth? Your data is telling a story. On the KAA Post-Secondary Advising Toolkit under the Data tab, you can find a video from one of our advisors in the field on how they use the high school feedback report to drive their decision-making. We want to emphasize that it is not enough only to collect and monitor the state-required post-secondary readiness data, but to truly support student transition to their post-secondary path, we must collect data on our actual advising practices. This includes knowing which students are going to college and which ones are enlisting in the military. What are their pathways of interest and more? With the right tool, data can be collected in a way that will provide you with an individual snapshot of each student. This will assist you in supporting them as they transition from high school to their desired career. The Kentucky Advising Academy is here to support all of these components by providing networking opportunities and resources. You can find an example of a data collection tool on the KAA Post-Secondary Advising Toolkit. Some of the data you might consider keeping on your students currently in your building includes what scores they made on the ACT, the dual credit classes they've taken, what industry certificate they've earned, the pathway they completed, FAFSA completion, if they've had a post-secondary advising session, have they completed a resume, and more. The Kentucky Post-Secondary Advising Framework has a progress analysis tool that gives space to reflect on different components of post-secondary advising. It is meant to encourage reflection and continuous improvement on the conditions needed to create a supportive environment to intentionally implement the advising framework. Collecting and utilizing data should be used to support post-secondary advising. Data can help you determine areas for success and identify opportunities for growth. At the beginning of our time together, I asked, is every student having the same high school experience? Data will tell you that. We'd like to leave you with our well-advised data challenge. How are you using data? Review the high school feedback report with your advising team. Have your team make noticings. What surprises you? What encourages you? What concerns you? Then, discuss your findings as a team, and then reflect on that question. Is every student having the same high school experience? Once again, your data may tell a different story. After that, determine what next steps you need to take. Need a place to start? Take a look at our Start Here guide, leveraging data on our toolkit. There are many reports that advisors can use to reflect on and inform their post-secondary advising systems. From the school report card to persistence to graduation, TEDS data, FAFSA completion reports, work-based learning data, and early warning data. Whatever data sources that your team considers, look at the data, find patterns, look for trends, use those insights, and make better decisions to improve your process. When you analyze data to inform your post-secondary advising system, you can identify areas of success and areas where you can strengthen your advising practices. You can advocate for district policy and programming changes for your advising system to better support all students transitioning from secondary to their post-secondary path. Be sure to check out our resources on the KAA Post-Secondary Advising Toolkit for additional resources.